4 months after the passing of Rengoku, Tanjiro and the boys have been training relentlessly. After completing one of his solo missions, Tanjiro overhears someone screaming within the Butterfly Mansion. The Sound Hashira, Tengen Uzui, begins taking away Aoi and Naho. Tanjiro, confused, decides to headbutt Tengen. Tengen stealthily avoids the attack, proclaiming he used to be a ninja. Tanjiro demands Tengen to release the girls, in exchange to join the mission in their stead. Zenitsu and Inosuke also join Tanjiro as Tengen ultimately agrees to take them all towards the entertainment district. Once they arrive at the entertainment district, Tengen informs the boys of the mission. Tengen's 3 wives, Makio, Suma, and Hinatsuru, all kunoichi, were stationed within 3 separate establishments, narrowing down the location of a demon. After losing communication with his wives, Tengen has devised a plan to disguise all 3 boys as females within the 3 separate establishments to locate his wives and track down the demon. At House Ogimoto, Inosuke overhears 2 women mentioning Makio's reluctance to leave her room, which introduces us to an Obi demon holding Makio hostage. But the Obi senses Inosuke snooping in the hallway and decides to flee. Inosuke pursues the demon but eventually loses sight of it. In the Kyogoku house, Zenitsu overhears a woman crying and rushes in to find her. He walks into a destroyed room as chills are sent down his spine. Sensing that the Orient of the house, Wadabahime, isn't human, Zenitsu grabs Wadabahime by the arm, demanding to let the girl go. Angered, Wadabahime slams Zenitsu into a wall, rendering him unconscious. The following day, Tengen informs Inosuke and Tanjiro that Zenitsu has been captured by the demon they're pursuing. He apologizes for putting their lives in danger, asks them to leave, then vanishes to locate the upper rank alone. At House Tokido, Wadabahime, aka Daki, has snuck inside Koinatsu's room, causing Tanjiro to track her scent. Angrily shouts to release her, but Daki strikes Tanjiro and sends him flying through a building. Amazed at her strength and speed, Tanjiro manages to keep his composure and informs Nezuko to only come out of her box if her life is in danger. Tanjiro begins battling Daki as his water-breathing techniques, slicing the Obi, keeping Koinatsu captive, freeing her. Daki insults Tanjiro before they continue fighting. Tengen has located Hinatsuru, and after a quick embrace, he runs off back to the battlefield. He overhears vibrations of a demon coming from an underground cavern. Pulling out his blades to perform his sound-breathing attack, the ground explodes, revealing Daki's underground cavern. In the demon nest, Inosuke discovers Zenitsu along with several hostages. Greeted by the Obi, Inosuke begins battling the demon. He tries to finish off the Obi, but is unsuccessful due to the Obi's elasticity. Several kunai then appear, stopping the Obi in its tracks, revealing to come from Suma and Makio. Suddenly, thunderous roars within the underground can be heard by the Obi, revealing to come from Zenitsu. The ceiling above explodes, resembling a similar thunderous sound, revealing to come from Tengen. However, amidst the smoke and chaos, the Obi has escaped, with Tengen, Zenitsu, and Inosuke quickly in pursuit of it. As Tanjiro and Daki's battle wages on, Tanjiro unleashes the Hinokami Kagura to better suit his fighting style. He begins slashing out one burst of an attack, as Daki narrowly avoids it. Tanjiro follows once more, yet Daki counterattacks. In the midst of the battle, the Obi from underground comes flying unexpectedly to enter Daki's body, causing her to disappear from Tanjiro's sight. Tanjiro looks up and notices Daki above the roof, now with white-colored hair, emerging stronger. She unleashes a powerful blast, heavily injuring Tanjiro. Now furious, Tanjiro's eyes mutates and is covered in blood as his rage becomes even more concentrated. From a distance, Daki looks onward to Tanjiro. She begins to envision a mysterious man. She realizes the man she's envisioning are coming from Muzan's memories. Angered, Daki unleashes her blood demon art, 8-layered Obi slash to push him back. Yet, Tanjiro counters with another Hinokami Kagura, causing Daki to panic. Tanjiro swings his blade towards Daki's neck, but it transforms into an Obi, refusing to be cut. Tanjiro falls back, assesses the situation in front of him, and begins to strike once more, but then suddenly envisions his sister Hanako desperately telling him to breathe. Losing his focus, he collapses on the floor, grasping for air as a result for pushing his body beyond his limits. Daki, moments from killing Tanjiro, is interrupted by Nezuko, who kicks Daki, decapitating half of her head. During the battle, Nezuko drops her bamboo muzzle from her mouth. A horn begins growing out of her right side of her forehead, and her body becomes covered in ivy-like demon crest. Daki gets intimidated by Nezuko's aura as Nezuko tries kicking Daki, but manages to slice her leg off. Yet, Nezuko still manages to smash Daki's face to the ground, with Daki concluding that Nezuko's regenerative abilities are now much faster than even hers. Daki shouts at Nezuko and uses her Obi to slice Nezuko's limbs off. As Nezuko's blood splatters in the air, it begins to solidify and starts burning Daki's entire body. Nezuko relentlessly stomps on her and gleefully sends Daki flying through a nearby building. Tanjiro arrives to restrain his sister, with Tengen arriving shortly after, surprised at Nezuko's flashy demonization. Tengen looks over Daki and tells her she can't be in upper rank due to her inferior strength. Suddenly, Daki's head comes off, feeling confused as to what just transpired. Tengen then tells Tanjiro to sing Nezuko a lullaby to calm her down, which just works. Meanwhile, Daki cries out to Gyutaro to save her as a male demon emerges from Daki's own body. Gyutaro, revealing to be Daki's older brother, is furious, learning what the demon slayers have done as he begins to pull out 2 large sickles. Creating a fury of slashes, he unleashes his blood demon art, flying blood sickles, towards Tengen, who manages to block the attack. However, Gyutaro can freely command his sickles as they turn to strike Tengen once more. Gyutaro grows irritated that Tengen hasn't died from his poison-drenched sickles, in which Tengen explains he's built a resistance to poison, being raised in a shinobi household. Although Gyutaro notices the deterioration in Tengen's physical state and becomes delighted, knowing the poison is indeed slowly taking effect. Through the heat of this flashy battle, Tengen discovers how to defeat the demon siblings, yet Gyutaro remains confident the poison will kill him first. At that moment, Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Tanjiro arrive to assist Tengen. The group then splits into teams of 2. Tengen and Tanjiro will face Gyutaro, while Zenitsu and Inosuke will face off against Daki, who's revealed a 3rd demon eye on her forehead. Both battles are ferociously underway. From above, Hinatsuru launches a large box filled with poisonous kunai towards Gyutaro. Seizing the moment, Gyutaro and Tengen attempts a finishing strike, until Gyutaro manages to regenerate his legs and repels their attack. Gyutaro suddenly disappears and from the rooftop reappears, capturing Hinatsuru. Luckily, Tengen's water breathing attack saves Hinatsuru thanks to combining both water and fire breathing to increase his strength. Tengen then comes from behind and prepares to take Gyutaro's head off as Tanjiro aids him in the attempt, but both fail, as Gyutaro's blood demon art sends both him and Tengen flying off the roof. From a distance, Zenitsu asks Tanjiro to assist both him and Inosuke to take down Daki. Inosuke rushes towards Daki with his beast-breathing explosive attack with support from the others, and then Inosuke has successfully decapitated Daki's head off. But then, Gyutaro impales Inosuke, grabbing his sister's head back. Tanjiro then looks down on the ground, horrified to see Tengen laying unresponsive, bleeding on the ground. Zenitsu tries warning Tanjiro of the upcoming Obi attack, which collapses the roof, dragging the boys with it. Gyutaro stands over Tanjiro. In an attempt to break Tanjiro's fighting spirit, informs the Demon Slayer his team has been defeated, followed by breaking Tanjiro's fingers, yet strangely offers him the opportunity to become a demon. Tanjiro replies, "No thanks, motherfucker," and heads Gyutaro while also stabbing him in the leg simultaneously with another kunai. With Gyutaro paralyzed, Tanjiro gets up and swings his blade onto him. Daki attempts to assist her brother, yet in a flash, Zenitsu frees himself from the rubble and attacks her with his thunder breathing, followed by Godspeed, begging for his blade to finish her off. Tanjiro continues to struggle to slice Gyutaro's neck as Gyutaro frees himself to gain the upper hand. Just then, Tengen regains his consciousness and protects Tanjiro. As the two battle, Tanjiro leaps into the air, but gets stabbed through the jaw with Gyutaro's sickle. Ignoring the pain, Tanjiro remains focused on his task, while Gyutaro notices the scar on Tanjiro's head develop into a Demon Slayer mark. Meanwhile, Daki is seen resisting Zenitsu's attempt to decapitate her until Inosuke unexpectedly rushes up from behind. All three boys roar, musters out the strength to slice through both demons' neck. Inosuke and Zenitsu are seen slicing off Daki's head on the rooftop, while Tanjiro can be seen decapitating the head off of Gyutaro. Both demon heads fall onto the ground, rolling around until their heads come face to face. We're then shown a flashback of their tragic past, but for the sake of time, whatever. Nezuko is shown curing both Inosuke and Tengen with their demon blood art, revealing her flames have mysteriously eliminated the poison from within their body. Obanai congratulates Tengen for defeating the upper rank 6, but after losing his left eye and hand, Tengen ultimately decides to retire. However, he hints to Obanai that Tanjiro could be a worthy successor as a Hashira in the near future. At the Infinity Castle, Akaza ponders that his summoning must mean a member of the upper rank has been defeated. We're then introduced to the remaining upper rank, Gyoko, Hantengu, Doma, and the mysterious upper rank, Kokushibu. Muzan appears and is pissed, chastising the upper ranks, demanding that they all serve him with suicidal devotion going forward. He orders Hantengu to join Gyoko out on a mission and vanishes. Elsewhere, we see two men sitting in a house, eating and drinking tea. Sumiyoshi, one of the men, thanks the mysterious man for saving his family. Despite Sumiyoshi viewing the man as powerful, the mysterious man retorts, claiming how he was unable to protect what was most important to him. Tanjiro is then seen crying as he wakes up from the dream, heavily bandaged and hooked up to multiple IVs. Kanao walks up in the room, relieved, informing Tanjiro that he's been unconscious for the past 2 months, happy to see him awake. And that was the Entertainment District in a nutshell.